In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, gifting the world with magnificent creation mountains, oceans, vast forests, and breathtaking landscapes. Yet there is a future and eternal place that surpasses any earthly beauty. When the time comes, we will return to dust, leaving behind our physical bodies and returning to God, experiencing eternal peace. Have you ever wondered what heaven is like? In today's Bible study, we'll explore what the Bible reveals about heaven. Heaven has mansions where we will dwell with Jesus. In John 14:2-3, Jesus says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you." These words were a comfort to the disciples, guaranteeing a promise of eternal communion. Jesus emphasizes that there is a place for each of us, where we will be with Him forever. The term mansions may also indicate dimensions, suggesting that God has different realms for us. In Ephesians 2:6, we read that God raised us up together and made us sit together in heavenly places in Christ Jesus, revealing that there are multiple heavenly places. In Revelation 21:1-4, we see a vision of a new heaven and new earth, where God will dwell with His people, and there will be no more death, pain, or sorrow. The New Jerusalem is described as a holy city, prepared to live in intimate communion with God. The promise that He will wipe away every tear symbolizes the ultimate restoration, offering us comfort and hope for a life where pain and suffering have no place. 1 Thessalonians 4:16-17 describes the second coming of Christ, for the Lord Himself will descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of an archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ will rise first. The majestic coming of Christ will bring the resurrection of those who died in faith, and those who are still alive will join them, meeting the Lord in the air forever. Philippians 3:20-21 reminds us that our citizenship is in heaven, and we eagerly await Jesus' return, who will transform our imperfect bodies into glorified ones. This heavenly citizenship means that we live according to God's values, with the hope of being renewed and receiving eternally perfect bodies. Revelation 21:10-21 offers a detailed view of the New Jerusalem. John describes a radiant city adorned with precious stones, with 12 gates and a street of pure gold. The city, all clothed in the glory of God, is described as a place of indescribable beauty, radiating God's presence and being the perfect dwelling place for all believers. The New Jerusalem is anything but an ordinary city. It shines and reflects divine perfection and majesty. Revelation 22:1-2 introduces us to the river of the water of life and the tree of life, which bear fruit continuously. Its leaves are for the healing of the nations, suggesting that all diseases and afflictions will be healed forever. This river, flowing from God's throne, symbolizes divine life and a direct connection to His presence. In Revelation 4:1-11, we catch a glimpse of worship in heaven. John is taken to God's throne, surrounded by 24 elders dressed in white and living creatures praising day and night. This scene demonstrates the majesty of heavenly worship, where everyone, from the elders to the creatures, continuously honors God. The casting of crowns before the Lord symbolizes total submission, recognizing His absolute power. Revelation 7:15-17 promises that in heaven there will be no hunger, thirst, or scorching heat. God Himself will be our shelter, and Jesus will lead us to springs of living water, wiping away every tear. This vision of heaven is a powerful reminder of eternal comfort and fulfillment, where peace and joy will replace all suffering. Each passage offers a vision of hope and fulfillment, reaffirming that heaven is a place of incomparable beauty, with communion with God at its center. Heaven represents not only an eternal dwelling, but a home where all that is imperfect will be transformed. With a future filled with peace, healing, and glory, the promise of heaven encourages us to live in the expectation of finding this perfect place. Want to know more about God's promises? Like and comment your thoughts below.